Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another live stream. Hope you guys are ready to rock and roll and have some fun today. Despite all the insanity going on outside after we just survived a hurricane and all the other stuff. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about why is everyone retiring out here to Merida, Yucatan. This is one of the reasons. As you guys can see from behind me, we got ourselves one of the beautiful beaches out here in the Yucatan Peninsula, and for many people, well, that's reason enough to come and live out here, move out here, all that good stuff. Here's another beautiful beach out here in the Yucatan coast. This was taken a while back. Obviously, again, a hurricane just kind of, came through here on its way to Florida and kind of devastated the beaches out here. But nothing, that, the beaches haven't seen before and they can't recover from. So everything will be fine. We're, more than anything thinking about everyone else has been affected by these hurricanes, in Florida and through the rest of the eastern seaboard of the USA and so on and so forth. But anyways, right now we're just gonna kind of take it easy real quick, play a little music while we wait for everybody to get here, and before we get the whole thing going 100%. Let me see. Yeah, it's probably better this way. But anyways, all right. So anyway, shout out to everyone out there, and welcome, to another show. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about, why is everyone retiring to Merida, Yucatan? Why is this place such a hot spot? Why is everybody coming out here, and so on and so forth? And there's a lot of reasons. Many reasons. Again, we are out here in the southeast portion of Mexico, which is in the Caribbean, and has similar weather that what you would find perhaps in Florida. Let me see. Is the music coming through? Okay. All right. And so therefore, let me see. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I was going to make sure it's not too loud over there. My apologies. Just I had to move everything around because of the live stream I did the other day through the hurricane, and had the other camera set up and all that stuff. But anywho's, hello and welcome to everyone in the chat. Hello and welcome to everyone out there. So as I was saying, there's a lot of similarities to this region of Mexico as there are to Florida. And so for a lot of people, that alone is reason. That is reason enough, to come and live out here because of the weather. For some people, the weather is too much. It's too hot, too warm, too strong of a climate. But for others, it's perfect. So it's all depending on, how you look at it and, where you're looking at this from. So, all right, let me pause the music here for a minute. Let's get the beach back out here. Like I said, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Merida specifically. There are many areas around Mexico that a lot of people are choosing to retire to these days. Merida is just one of those places. In fact, it's become a more of a popular destination these days in the last several years. This is kind of like an area that's in the middle of nowhere, for lack of a better description, compared to other locations that are, well, not in the middle of nowhere. They're a little closer to, more centralized populated areas, or more, or areas that more Americans might be used to or know. So, for example, for, the longest time, a lot of people were, they choose areas like La Paz, in, Baja California, many areas in the Baja California area. Other areas such as, on the beaches like Acapulco was very popular for a long time, Mazatlan, other beach towns. And then when it came out here to the Yucatan Peninsula, for the most part, people just kind of kept, a healthy distance away from Cancun. You would come out to visit Mexico for the first time, as an American, to Cancun, for example, fall in love with Mexico, and then before you know it, you would be in thinking about moving to Mexico, and you wouldn't, you would just tell yourself, hey, I want to move to Mexico, but I want to go somewhere that's not, whatchamacallit, that's not too far away from this Cancun area. So you would just kind of look around that area of Quintana Roo as a whole, and which is not too far from Merida. Cancun is about 3.5 hours away, give or take, depending on the traffic, and because of that, sorry, because someone's give me 1 second, hold on. Let me play a little music. I got an email. I'm sorry, I got a message from someone real quick. My apologies, guys. Always busy doing things. Yeah, sorry. And I know we got Gizmo barking out there. All right, this is things about live streams. You just never know what could go on at any moment's time. But anyways, all right, guys. Sorry about that. All right, sorry about the distraction. Let's just get back into what we were talking about here. So the thing is that for a lot of people, a lot of people are looking into retiring. Most people choose Florida. Florida is like their number one destination. That's really where they would love to go and retire. But as you guys know, as inflation, more boomers are retiring. I could go on and on. More more desire, to go to Florida, not just to retire in Florida, but also to live in Florida. You know what I mean? Like young people are moving to Florida. There's many variables that are making an area like Florida very popular these days. So it is pricing out many of the people that would normally would have thought, hey, I'm going to retire in Florida once I'm done. A lot of people from the northeast of the United States of America, and other regions in the United States, a lot of them, they would always, just think to themselves, oh, one day, once I'm done here working in New York, blah, 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 I'm going to go and retire in sunny Florida. Anyways, so Florida's always been a very popular destination for many people. And so the reality is that as time has gone on, more and more people have realized that they cannot afford to retire in Florida. So they've been starting to look elsewhere, and Mexico is one of those locations. Now, since most people that are looking into retiring in Florida, they're not really thinking about Mexico, or they're probably not anywhere near Mexico. And so therefore, when they start researching, where they're going to move to in Mexico, and all of a sudden, they see places like Baja California, Mazatlan, Acapulco, whatever. All those places are on the west coast, okay, of Mexico. West coast of the USA, all the way out there. And so for a lot of people, that's like, man, that is far away, even though it's not that far away. So a lot of people, all of a sudden, they start discovering areas, that are closer to the, Cancun area, and that's where Merida has become a, hot spot these days. Now, we're going to get more into that. They're going to, definitely, obviously, delve a lot deeper into why Merida's a spot and what Merida's turning into, and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, long story short, that's why a lot of people are moving out here. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're looking at Merida as a great location, a great alternative to Florida. And the thing is, it's that, the whole Yucatan, the whole Yucatan region. So anywhere from Campeche, to the Yucatan, the state of the Yucatan, Quintana Roo, that's the state where where Cancun is located. Here, I'll show you on the map real quick so I can make it a little easier. to visualize what I'm talking about here. Okay. All right, 1 second. Okay, all right. Here we go. So as you guys can see here on the map, you know, where's Merida compared to Florida, compared to the USA, all right? And so, again, you know, Merida, you know, closer to, you know, right next to Cuba, you know, Florida, you know, this whole region. So people that envision, you know, their retirement to have palm trees and hurricanes and beaches and margaritas and all that stuff, well, this is why they choose this area. Now, again, the more popular, this is the whole Yucatan Peninsula, all right, right there. So, you know, the most popular areas out here have always been Cancun, all right, all the way over here, all right. But as you know, that has turned into basically Miami, Las Vegas, you know, giant tourist hub destination. And so that's where a lot of people, oh man. By the way, I got the windows open because since we had the hurricane come through here, the weather is nice and, you know, kind of cooled down. And so therefore I apologize. There's extra noises coming from outside. But anyways, and so a lot of people are like, okay, I don't want to move to Cancun per se, obviously for obvious reasons. You know, again, because it's turned into, you know, again, it's spring break all the time there. All right. So it's a different world. Some people love Cancun, some people don't. But anyways, so a lot of people are like, all right, I'm going to move to Islas Mujeres. You know, I'm going to move to Puerto Morelos, you know, down here. I'm moving to, Cozumel, Playa del Carmen, you know, Tulum. Tulum's turned into something else, whatever. Anyways, but, you know, so a lot of people have kind of checked, you know, hung out in this area. But in recent years, you know, people have been, you know, looking elsewhere. Well, what else is out there? And, well, Merida has now been a popular destination because as you guys can see, it's not that far from each other. All right. So, all right. So you guys can see real quick. It's only like about 3-hour drive, 3.5-hour drive. Okay. So it's not that far away from each other. So basically, Cancun, you know, the closer you are to Cancun, the more close you're going to be to, you know, the whole party atmosphere, beach atmosphere, spring break, Club Med, Key West atmosphere. That's Cancun. You know, that's what you're looking at when you're in the, not just Cancun, but a lot of Quintana Roo area. By the way, if I'm wrong, let me know in the chat or in the comment section. But that's what you're looking at here. And when you're looking at, you know, all the way, you know, down to Merida, what it is these days, it's turned into something completely different. So Merida was just a sleepy town. It was the capital of the Yucatan Peninsula. All right, the capital of the Yucatan state. So you see, we got 3 states. Cancun is located in the state of Quintana Roo. Okay, Merida is located in the state of the Yucatan, and Campeche is all the way over here. But all 3 of these are part of the Yucatan Peninsula. This whole area. That whole area there is the peninsula, okay? So it's those 3 states, okay? But it's the state of the Yucatan. But anyways, so Merida is the capital. And the only reason most people would ever come out here to Merida back in the day, we're talking about 10, 15, 20 years ago, further back. But really, the only reason most people or anyone would ever come to Merida was because around Merida are all you know, is surrounded by all these archaeological sites. And all these other areas called cenotes, you know, which are these underground watering holes. Okay, so a lot of people, again, then, you know, natural preserve, you know. So look, that's so you can get an idea of what a cenote is. Okay, so a lot of people would just come out here to see the cenotes, you know, see the pyramids, you know, things like that. Okay, so it was really, you know, out of the way. You know, it's not necessarily. You know, people would come out here to Cancun or whatever it is. You know, this is, you know, kind of out of the way. You had to come out here to 3 hours. And the only reason you would come out here is because, you know, you're probably staying a few nights in Merida, you know, only to just go around and check out, you know, all of the, whatchamacallit? Oh, shout out to, thank you very much. I just got a $25 donation, super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cindy. Muchas gracias. But anyway, so this whole area, is surrounded by these archaeological sites. A lot of these cities, a lot of these pueblos, villages, whatever, they are archaeological sites, and so a lot of people, come to Merida, spend a few days here and pretend like they were Indiana Jones and then just go around and check out a lot of these sites and these areas. And so that's what it was for the longest time, up until, recently, as Merida has started to grow, it has basically become like Palm Beach, in Florida, where a lot of money is now coming to this area. So now this area is turning into, a place for the wealthy. Now, again, it doesn't mean that, if you're on a, low income, if you only have like a, $1,500 Social Security, that you cannot live in Merida. Of course you can. You'll be fine out here. Like you're in Mexico and you're in this region. But that is what this place is turning into. This place is turning into like a playground, for people that got money. A lot of Mexicans are moving here. Okay. A lot of money is moving here. A lot of wealth is moving here. And so they're building the northern infrastructure. Okay. Of the city, okay, the northern infrastructure of the city looks like high end. It's very high end, as you guys can see here. Okay, just checking out the mall real quick. All right, so you guys can see some pictures of what it might look like. So you see how high end it is. Look at that. Doggy in the spa. But anywho's. The point I'm making is that, so, a lot of this region now is turning into that. So as a Floridian, I know what this is like, because I'm from the hood in Florida. I come from the Cuban hood, the barrio down there. But, areas like this are right next to where I live, or, I got South Beach right around the corner, or I got, Mar-a-Lago not too far away, or whatever it is, So it's very, very, very similar. Okay, very similar in the way that this area is starting to blow up. Because, like, if I were to compare the Yucatan Peninsula, okay, if I'm comparing the whole peninsula, to, Florida, I would say that the Cancun area would be like Miami South Beach area, okay? And then, going to Merida, that's like the Palm Beach area, the Fort Lauderdale, Las Olas area, some of those, Jupiter Beach, whatever. Actually, the further you go into, like, let's say Campeche, or you start going out to, like, I don't know, Celestún, you start going to a lot of, these are places like old Florida. So anyone that's familiar with Florida and what it's turned into today and what it used to be, if you guys miss old Florida, obviously it's not Florida, we're in another country, in another place, whatever. But what I'm trying to get at is that, there's still many areas, all around, especially when you go towards Campeche, where it's just like old Florida. Basically, it's just, you can just buy some piece of land or rent a, small little property right on the beach or close to the beach and just live like the locals. All right. And just live that salt life, or live that life, live that Florida life, old Florida life. Or, you can move to an area, like I said, if you're more interested in like the Miami type lifestyle, the Miami lifestyle of like the South Beach, that kind of lifestyle, then yeah, go to Cancun. But if you're more interested in, again, more of the, quiet, high end, kind of areas, then Merida, an area like Merida would be your spot, because Merida is the safest city in all of Mexico. Okay, all of Mexico. Okay, Merida is the safest city. All right. How do I? Anyways, hold on a second. So Merida is the safest city in all of all of Mexico. In fact, the second safest city in the Americas. Okay, the Americas. All right, but anywho's besides the point. What Merida sells to retirees. Okay, retirees, again, not just Americans and Canadians. I'm talking about all retirees Mexican retirees, even Mexicans themselves, is that, again, that lifestyle, that high-end lifestyle, but at the same time, the Pueblo village lifestyle. The very, very safe, very laid back lifestyle, right next to the very high-end lifestyle, right next to the beach. And you got all kinds of beaches, so you got the beach like Progreso, which is just a nice, beautiful, kind of normal beach, very touristy, tourist-heavy beach. See, Gizmo agrees, Okay, so that's the port of Progreso all the way at the end. That's where the cruise ships, they got cruise ships and cargo ships that land there, and then they take that road all the way down to the beach, which is right there. As you guys can see, the beach is right, well, my face is covering it here, where my face is. See, right there, see the beach? All right. So, anywho's. And, yeah, you know what I mean? These are things that they built. I think that's, I don't know what that is. But anyways, these are things that they've built, all along. And this is just a regular beach, okay? But they've made it nice. They made it really nice, okay? So this would be like Fort Lauderdale Beach, something like that. All right? And then, all you got to do is just go a little further, out to Chaburna, Chelem, and all of a sudden things are a little bit more chill. You go all the way out here to like Telchac, Puerto. And now it's like you're still in the sleepy beach town, okay? As you guys can see there, very nice. We go out here all the time to these areas, to just go fishing, go to the beach. I like going to quiet beaches. I'm not a big fan of like the whole, crowds and stuff like that. So, these are great areas. These are wonderful areas, quiet little beach towns. And as you guys can see, from the map itself here, they're all over the place. Okay, I'm obviously only going to see a few here, but as soon as you zoom in, you start seeing more and more. Okay, and parks and all kinds of things. Okay, and all kinds of natural beauty. If you're into that stuff and all that. But again, it's not for everybody. I know a lot of retirees, that want, desire, need warm weather, hot weather, very hot weather. Okay, the hotter, the better. But others that they cannot handle it, and I totally understand it. I get it. It all depends on who you are. So, for a lot of people that would normally choose to retire in Florida and, things like the weather, the calm lifestyle, the retiree lifestyle. So, again, more and more things are starting to cater, to, certain demographic out here as well. Because, look, I'm going to tell you, I live here. This is not a city for the young. You know what I mean? There are other cities around Mexico that are for the young. And Mexico is a young country. The average age of a typical Mexican is around 30 years old. All right? So an area like this, is, just like other areas, like Ajic, whatever it's called, Chapala area, just like Mazatlan, just like all these areas, they're turning into, areas where a lot of retirees are congregating. So, that's another plus. If you're a retiree, you're of a certain demographic, you're of a certain, whatchamacallit, like, how do I say this? You're looking for a certain thing. So you come out here, you'll be surrounded by other expats. Like, for example, if you're looking to retire, to other areas, there might not be many expats. And so for some retirees, you guys want to have community amongst yourselves. And so there's a lot more more expats, more and more coming out here every day. Americans, Canadians, and so on. But not just Americans and Canadians, also Mexicans, Mexicans and other Latinos, but Mexicans. So, there are Mexicans that lived in the USA and want to retire now, and now they're choosing to retire in Merida. Okay? Think about it. So, and other Mexicans, that probably, built their fortune, did their life, in, let's say Mexico City, and now they want to retire in Merida, things like that. So, and and why do they come to Merida as a Mexican? Well, for safety. That's the number one reason. The beaches are everywhere, but they understand that Merida is very safe. They emphasize safety, a lot. And so because of that, well, a lot of Mexicans, they value that, especially if they're coming from other areas. And so therefore they are, choosing Merida. So it's many reasons, so obviously as more wealth comes to this region, well, guess what? More security is going to be having to come to the area as well. And you see it. You see, just as they build, a fancy restaurant and a fancy mall and a fancy, Dolce Gabbana bag shop or whatever, they're also they're also bringing in more cops. They're paying the police more, bringing in more security and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just to protect what's the interests that are out here. So again, the cartels, they also have interest out here, that they all want to protect. So this is like a place where everybody kind of congregates and they keep this area safe, while other parts of the country might not be safe. So there's many reasons as to why this region, this city, this area not only is safe, will remain safe and continue to build on that. Now, there's many issues that are affecting the city and the region, and it's a lot of it has to do with growth. And because of that, they're dealing with more traffic, they're dealing with more people, they're dealing with gentrification, they're dealing with a lot of things. And so, they're now going to be building a brand new periférico. So as you guys can see here, periférico, the periphery, all right, is this one road. All right, let me see if I can point at it here so you guys can see what I mean. Okay, you see that where I click there? So that road that goes all around the city, that ring around the city, that's the periphery of the city. So now the new government, they just got elected. They're one of their main things that they're going to do, which they're doing already. They're already building it, but is that they're going to build another periphery, outside of the city. Okay, so I don't know how this periphery is going to go, but it's probably going to go like you see these regions right here, Cauquel. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to zoom in. Geesh. Okay, so as you guys can see, these areas like Cauquel, okay, Ditzia, Las Americas, all these areas, they're going to start now getting connected with another ring, Cholul, and then this ring is going to come all the way down to Canacin, whatever, all the way through down here, okay? So, and what's that going to do? Well, now all that area in between needs to be developed, all right? And see how close we are to the beach. It's not too far. And so all this area here is also getting developed. See, when you zoom in, you start seeing the developments. You came out here 20 years ago and it was all jungle. Not anymore. So a lot of these region is getting developed as well. So this area is becoming very highly desirable for many reasons. Again, think about it. You could live, let's say you want to live in a pueblo, a big pueblo. You're like, all right, I'm going to live out here. And then from here, you can live out there and then you'll be like, all right, you know what? From once a week or twice a month, I'll drive to Costco. Okay. All right. And then it's only going to be like 40 minutes. Okay. 40 minutes driving back and forth. All right. So just FYI. All right. Just so you can get an idea. And so they're building even more highway, more roads. We got the Mayan train. Okay. We got the train Maya. We got, all the new buses. So we got a lot of things like that. So, you ask the locals, and some of the locals are not happy, with some of the gentrification, and some are. It's just, it all depends on who you ask and, whether they're making money off of it or not. The younger folk, they're happy with a lot of the growth. The older folk are not happy with any of the growth. And things like that. So, but at the end of the day, the city is growing. It's definitely growing, and they're expecting a lot of growth, going forward. All right. Let me read some of the comments. I see you guys are, leaving a few comments there. Kev says he just visited Merida, Chelem last week. It was great. Awesome. Also went to the mall, Costco. Great. Okay. You're right. I lived in Hollywood, Florida. Progresso was very similar. There you go. The restaurants on the boardwalk, Malagong, exactly. So that's the thing. that's why I like this region, because it's very similar to Florida. I'm a Florida boy, you know what I mean? I was born and raised in Miami, and I've been all over Florida before I moved out of the state, over 10 years ago. And many of the reasons why I moved out was because it was just becoming unlivable, for the average Joe. And so that's why I left, for better horizons out there. But when I came out here to this region, I was like, oh, great. This is like Florida, but livable. So, this is why I love it out here. I love to travel all around Mexico, and nobody knows what the future will hold. But at least for now, this is great because it just reminds me, as I'm here, I'm in Florida. This is the way I feel. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm in Florida. So, which is great. All the positives of Florida, So, awesome. I'm just reading a few comments here. That's great. Glad you guys are... Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, at the end of the day, life out here is great. It's wonderful. It all depends on who you are, whether or not you're gonna enjoy life out here or want to live out here or not. My recommendation to anybody is to visit any place before you just move blindly. Okay. I know a lot of you guys might look at my story as inspiration, but please don't. Again, I have to remind everybody, how and why I came out here. I pretty much didn't have a choice. I put my finger on the map and I landed here, and I got lucky. All right, that Merida was awesome, and again, as a Florida boy, this was just a perfect landing spot, perfect spot for me. And then things just kept, kind of rolling my direction as I was living out here. I met my beautiful wife, got married, and all the success that I've had in life, plus doing the YouTube and doing all the other things that I've done. So, for me, I love it out here, and I got my reasons for loving it out here and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, it's going to remind everybody that, just like not everybody loves Florida. Again, I love Florida, I love, again, I don't know about Florida these days and what's, some of the regions have turned into. I'm not forget the hurricanes again. Shout out to everyone in Florida. Thoughts and prayers to everyone out there with the hurricane. By the way, I'm gonna be covering the hurricane later on my other channel, Jose Unleashed. Okay, so you can go to my other channel, Jose Unleashed, after we're done here. Okay, once we're done here, we're gonna go over there and we're gonna talk about that and go see what's going on with all that. But anyways, like I was saying, I understand not everybody loves Florida. A lot of people hate Florida. A lot of people love Florida. It is what it is. And so it's the same thing with this region. Okay, this region is you're gonna either love it or you're gonna hate it. Okay, and so just like any region of Mexico, just like any region of the USA. Okay, there are plenty of places in the USA which are awesome, and some that are not so awesome. Okay, I'm not a big fan of Texas per se, but hey, I love Los Angeles. You know what I mean? I lived in Seattle for a while. That's enough for me. I lived in Vegas for a while. Not a fan. I lived in LA for a while. I loved it. I lived in Miami and Florida for a long time. I loved it until I didn't. And so on and so forth. So, every region is very different. Just like Nebraska is different, just like the North Dakota, Montana, Maine, New York, whatever. Same thing with Mexico. So take that into account, because if your dream retirement is a beach retirement, you got to keep in mind that there are many beaches in Mexico. Okay, so you might want to move to Cabo. You might want to move to La Paz. You might want to move out here. Maybe these are the beaches that are more better suited to you. You might want to move to Ensenada. All right, all the way over here, right next to close to Tijuana. You might want to move all the way down to Mazatlan, Nayarit, Puerto Vallarta. I could go on and on. All right, Acapulco. I got friends in Acapulco. You might want to go to Puerto Escondido. All these are great beaches. All these are great. Same thing as you might want really, really, really sleepy town vibes. Go to Campeche. Campeche is what Merida used to be. Like 30 years ago. Something like that. So, thank you very much. Shout out to Cindy for the $25. I know I mentioned you already. I know. I just wanted to say thanks again. Shout out to Cindy with the $25 super chat through PayPal. Thank you very much. Mucho appreciate it. And so, you gotta, again, we got Veracruz. A lot of people love Veracruz. They say that this place is amazing. And so that's the thing, just keep in mind that there's a lot of areas. Some of you guys don't want to be in the beach at all. Some of you want to be in other areas, So, well, there's other areas, There's Puebla, there's Guadalajara, there's Mexico City, there's Querétaro, Guanajuato, I can go on and on, all right? San Luis Potosí, Aguascalientes, whatever, man. So do your research, okay? And figure out what's best for you, okay? To me, the best advice that I could give is, like I said, if you pictured a Florida retirement, all right? You like Florida vibes, you like Florida weather, you like all the Florida has to offer when it comes to retirement, okay, then you're going to love the Yucatan Peninsula. Obviously, depending on where you are, whether it's Campeche or Cancun, all right, or Tulum or Merida or anywhere in between, Valladolid, whatever, Progreso, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The point I'm making is that it's just like Florida. Jacksonville is very different than Tallahassee, and very different than Panama City, and very different than Fort Myers, and very different than Tampa, and very different than Miami, and Fort Lauderdale, all right, and Palm Beach, and Jupiter, and I can go on and on. I mean, seriously. So it is the same thing here. You're going to find all that here. So whatever it is you're looking for, you can find it here. Again, Florida-wise, all right? So, again, what do I mean by Florida-wise? Well, again, slow, laid-back lifestyle, same weather, same beaches, again, you're dealing with hurricanes, again, the same hurricanes that have been, affecting Florida right now. They've been they were born out here in the middle of the, right here, in the Gulf, all right? So, I mean, again, look how close we are, okay? A lot of us, would love to retire in Cuba, but unfortunately, Cuba is not doing so good. So this is a great alternative to that. Again, if you have a lot of money, you might want to move to the Cayman Islands. You probably just keep your money there, but whatever. Just in case anyone's wondering where the Cayman Islands are, okay? A lot of people, they want more of the island life, and so obviously, they'll go to the Bahamas or go to some of these areas. But you're either gonna be living like an island man for real, beaches, living like what's this guy's name again? Forrest Gump, when he was with Wilson, So if you're, you want to live like that, or you got a lot of money, you know what I mean? And then you're living like, Anyway, so, but that's the thing. And so, yeah, obviously there are other options, but they all come with their pluses and minuses. And this is why Merida's kind of great, because, well, basically Merida's safe from hurricanes, all right? It's safe from, a lot of natural disaster, basically everything. There's no volcanoes, there's no nothing around here. It has an international airport, okay, that allows you to basically get anywhere, all right, when needed, all right? For a lot of people, that's important. All right, so, it has an international airport. It's not too far away from Cancun, all right? It's not too far away from Belize and Guatemala, in case you need to go that way for whatever reason, and so on and so forth, all right? So, for a lot of people, let's say that you're looking, you just want to retire. And you want to retire in the most awesome place ever. So then you might say to yourself, hey, I'll go retire. I'll come retire out here in Merida. I'll buy myself a really nice house out here. Live, basically like if I was living in West Palm or Tampa or, any one of these really nice places in Florida, right? Fort Myers, whatever, I don't know. And then just, if I need to go visit the grandkids, I can just hop on a plane real quick and fly back home. Again, it's a short flight home, wherever you're at. All right? So it's not that, a lot of direct flights or a lot of connections through Houston or Dallas or whatever. So, you can get to Fargo, if you want to. You know what I mean? You can get to, Saskatchewan, wherever you need to go, all from Merida. All right? So, look, long story short, it's not just that, but on top of that, you can have people visit you here. Look, I remember when I lived all over, nobody visited me. Nobody wanted to visit me. But ever since I've been living in Mexico, especially in this region of Mexico, I've been living in Merida. Oh, my God. I got people visiting me all the time, because they want, I mean, it's like I live right by Cancun. I mean, I live on the beach. I live in paradise. So I got people visiting me all the time. I'm talking about friends and family, all right? Obviously. But that's what I'm trying to get at. For it's a big win-win, because you can have you're retired out here, you can have your friends and your family, but your family come visit you out here. It's not going to be expensive. It's going to be very inexpensive, for them to visit you out here as opposed to visit you in Florida. If that's something you're concerned with, you got, like I said, the weather, you got the, entertainment, just like you would in Florida. You got the malls with air conditioner, you got the beaches, you got the, like I was telling you earlier, the cenotes, you got, all the things, you got the Home Depots, the Costco's of the world, you got everything. You got the Walmarts, you got all that stuff. Because again, every part of Mexico is different, but this area is very Americanized, So for a lot of people, that's great. Oh, also, another very important thing for retirees is healthcare. And Merida has one of the best healthcare kind of situations in the country. Now, again, there's healthcare all over Mexico, but, again, they have... They know, the kind of people that are moving out here. Like I said, a lot of retirees, from all over the world, other Mexicans, whatever. And so, obviously, they got to build around that. And so, one of the major, selling points to a lot of retirees is really good healthcare. So they got really good hospitals out here with basically anything you could need, any kind of procedure, any kind of whatever, with surgery. Doctors, best testing equipment, all kinds of things. You know what I mean? Amazing. What? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But, the best MRI machine. Look, how about this? I had to get a colonoscopy before, okay? And I remember when I got it done in Seattle, a really expensive place. It was, whatever. It was one experience, and then when I had it done here at a really, really, really nice place, it was a million times better getting it done here, okay, than it was getting it done in Seattle. And, a fraction of the price. And not just that, but just about anything. If I need to get MRIs, Christian needs to get, procedures or tests done, same as me. Everything is available and affordable. As affordable as medicine can get, but affordable. Compared to the USA, it's basically free, all right, compared to the USA. Now, I know a lot of people ask about, the Medicare, Medicaid, things like that. That's not my department. I don't know anything about that. Most people that I talk to that are retirees, that have retired out here, and so on and so forth, they do not, they don't use, Medicare, Medicaid. They say it's basically useless out here. And they just rely on either getting a private insurance or they just pay everything out of pocket. And these are people, retirees that again, it doesn't matter how healthy you are, you got to see the doctor on a regular basis, all right, for all kinds of things. And not just to get pills or medicine, for all kinds of things, all right? Most people, most retirees out here, they go to the doctor all the time and they pay everything out of pocket and they say it's still more affordable or about the same price as, having to deal with Medicare and Medicaid these days and the costs that come with that. Because, even me, I'm surprised that people have to pay so much out of pocket using Medicare and Medicaid or whatever in the USA these days. Because I remember back in the day, it was basically you had Medicare and Medicaid, you're good to go. You don't got to pay for nothing. But anyways, this is another story for another day. So I hope Mexico doesn't turn into Hawaii, no Mexicans. So, again, look, guys, just to answer that question, look how big Mexico is, okay? Mexico is, and by the way, these maps are not accurate, so Mexico is a lot bigger than what it shows on the map. So it's imagine, Tijuana is all the way where Vancouver is, all the way up there in Seattle, and it stretches all the way down to close to Florida, all right? So it's like a 40% or 50% of the USA, all right? So look, it's a huge country, all right? And there's a lot of people here, all right? There are 35 million Mexicans in the USA, all right? And there is like 2 million Americans in Mexico, all right? So, no, You know what I mean? It's not turning into Hawaii. Also, look at all the land mass. You know, Hawaii is tiny, and you know what's been going on in Hawaii has been going on for a very long time, and it's a very, very, very different situation. Mexico's not like that at all. You know what I mean? Again, you know, people are afraid to come to Mexico because of the cartels. If you think you know that the government, the people, and all that stuff are gonna let that, you know, a situation like that, like, just happen, you know, by a few boomers moving out here and trying to, you know, change things because they think that the coffee's too hot? No, it's not gonna change nothing. All right. So things are changing, and they are gonna change, but. You know, again, I've talked about this in multiple videos multiple times, but you got to remember the close proximity to Mexico and the USA. And again, 35 million Mexicans living in the USA. So how much, you know, cultural exchange there is already, you know, between both countries. So just like in the USA, we love burritos and tacos and Mexican food. Well, guess what? They love pizza, hot dogs, hamburgers, American football, baseball, you know, heavy metal, rock and roll music. I can go on and on. Okay. So just look at Mexico like the USA's Spanish cousin. Okay. That's all it is. All right. Because yeah, Mexico is its own country, its own culture, its own everything. All right. But again, you know what I mean? Like, it's very Americanized, and most of the world is Americanized with American culture. But, you know, Mexicans love the USA and vice versa. It's a love-hate relationship, just like the USA with Mexico and things like that. But yeah, look, I spent time in Canada, and I'm not you know, Canada's great. I got nothing against Canada. Cool. I love Canada. I've been to Canada many, many times, but no way. You know what I mean? Like, Mexico to me is more my flavor. Why? Because again, Mexico, Latino. I'm from Miami, Florida. You know, it's basically Latin America capital. So very different. As opposed to, like, again, you know, if you're coming from the northern part of the USA, you're more familiar with Canada. So very, very different. But yeah, no. I mean, it's nowhere near that. So anyone that's afraid of a gringo invasion and all these other things, no way. You know, far away from that happening. And like I said, if you go to certain cities like Monterrey, you go to certain places like Guadalajara, whatever, you're gonna start seeing a bunch of white people all over the place, and they're Mexican. Spoiler alert: they're Mexican. Okay. They're 6'2", all right? They're white, you know, blue eyes, you know, red hair. Canelo is a Mexican's, you know, most famous boxer at the moment, and he's a ginger. I mean, come on, you know. So, you know, it's like, there's a lot. There's a lot there. All right, too much to unpack. All right, not every Mexican is, you know, looks like Lambo or my wife. Okay, you know. My last name is Arteaga, and there are places in Mexico, plenty of places called Arteaga, you know. But anyways, I digress. So, you know, it's not nothing like that. I know there are certain regions, you know, certain areas, you know, of Mexico that are getting gringomified, you know, like Merida, okay, or, you know, or certain areas in Mexico City, even Oaxaca. I get it, you know, I totally get it. And so, but it's like, you know, complaining, you know, that, you know, now East LA, you know, that is going to turn into all of the USA turning into Mexico, or, you know, now all of the USA eating burritos and tacos. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. But anyways, come on. You know what I mean? So to me, it's there's so much misinformation about all that stuff out there. It's hilarious. You know, just like a lot of people think that, you know, Mexico's crazy dangerous, that there's Mexican cartels hiding in the bushes, you know, waiting for you know, a retiree to just, you know, walk, you know, down the boardwalk so they can kidnap them, so they can take away their Social Security check. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. You think the cartels care about your Social Security check when they run multi-million-dollar Fortune 500 companies out here in Mexico? Bruh. Yeah, no, they got bigger fish to fry, right? They got bigger, you know, they're dealing with other things out there. They don't care about any of us. And if they care about any of us, they're just trying to profit off of us. And what's the best way to profit? Open up a gentrified taco stand, or, you know, a coffee shop, and you know, charge 3 times the price for a taco, and don't worry, the gringo will pay for it, you know, or the rich Mexican will pay for it. So yeah, no, it's so many misconceptions about you know, Mexico. It makes me laugh. And look, I was guilty of all this myself. Before I ever moved to Mexico, I was a dumb gringo myself. I didn't know anything. anything about Mexico, and I believed all of the fake news and lies about Mexico. And then when I moved out here, and I quickly realized, it couldn't be any further from the truth. I mean, are you kidding me? When I was in Guadalajara, for example, I was like, man, this is nicer than any city in the USA right now. In fact, nicer than any city in the USA probably that I've been to. Like, sure, it has its negatives, its positives, it's all these things. And, there's some amazing, beautiful cities in the USA and all that stuff. But, I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like, I was floored, okay, by how amazingly beautiful that city was. When I went to Mexico City, I got to see that controlled chaos, just in action, amazing. So many, areas, and I'm like, man, what's going on here? And yeah, man. So to me, it's like I think that as more people are discovering Mexico and the truth and the reality of what Mexico is, and finding spots like Merida, and outside of the normal places that they would normally look at, like for example Cancun, Acapulco, Baja California, whatever. More and more people are discovering how amazing Mexico is. Because again, 10 years ago, you told a typical American, hey, have you ever been to Querétaro? And they're like, get it? What country is that? Have you ever been to Guanajuato? Like, where's that? What country is that? Where is that? That's in Mexico. Mexico? Really? Oh, okay. No, I've never been there. You know what I'm saying? So, and now, you ask a typical boomer out there, a typical retiree, and they know all these trendy places to go retire. You know what I mean? They know, oh yes, Guanajuato, yes, oh yeah, I follow a YouTuber that's in Querétaro, oh yes, I know somebody that's in Oaxaca, yeah, I follow this lady. I mean, I follow this fucking dumbass, that's in Merida. Oh yeah, he has a stupid horse and he thinks he's smart, So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, how things have changed so quickly. So let me read some comments here real quick. Here, play a little music. Put the beaches. I know you guys like the bitches. All right, let me see. Kev says, what's going on with Tulum? It was nice years ago, but locals can't easily access the beach and they're being pushed out of Tulum. Yeah, so Tulum turned into basically... damn, how do I say this? Like a place for hipsters, and the hipsters came in there, the corporations came in there, and they ruined it. Now, I'm glad you brought that up because, a lot of people are like, oh, do you think that's going to happen everywhere? Or that? No. Again, let's just, here, let me just show you real quick on the map so you guys can get an idea. Okay, so on the map here, as you guys can see, so this is Tulum all the way down here. Okay, and yeah, Tulum just got destroyed, okay? It might get fixed, changed, whatever, but... Tulum is now just a giant, what is it, like a drum circle, a place that, just young people go to party, take drugs, yada, yada, yada. And it's, there's a juice bar in every corner. It's just turned into, hipster central, okay? They ruined it. But then you go to a place like Holbox, all the way up here, and... it hasn't ruined it, you know what I mean? You go to Holbox and they don't even allow automobiles there. Everything is, you gotta like walk everywhere, bicycle everywhere, you gotta live a certain lifestyle. And it's still kind of hipsterish, but they're able to maintain. So the thing is that, remember, it's a free country. So, and there's, a lot of things in power. And so the people in the Holbox area, for example, all the way up here, they've been able to maintain it nice, okay, and not have interest and money corrupted. A place like Tulum, not so much. And Tulum used to be a tiny little place, and now look at what it's turned into. So yeah, I don't know. I've never really been to Tulum, but I don't hear anything nice about Tulum. And again, this area is only going to keep blowing up. And blowing up and blowing up. Look at all these things in the area. They built an airport there. So eventually it might get nice again, but right now, not so nice. And a lot of these areas are also, starting to get polluted because of the overdevelopment and all this other stuff. And by the way, spoiler alert, same thing is happening to some of these areas as well. So again, these are things that you got to watch. You know what I mean? Now, it all depends on who you are and what you're interested in. If you're coming out here and you're thinking about living out here 10 more years, maybe you don't give a F, about too much about the future. But if you're coming out here and you're planning on living 20, 30, 40 years more, well, you might want to be looking into some of these things, So, yeah, what I mean? There's a lot of things going on, There are areas that are, the water's polluted. There is pollution because of the overdevelopment. They do have a lot of animal farms, I can't speak too much of it. You already know how the censors are out there, but pig farms and all these other things, and those things pollute. Remember the development pollutes as well. They don't have as many rules and regulations and things like that. The overdevelopment is also polluting. Too many people. Whatever. But not everywhere. Not everything's in danger. There's a lot in play here. But it's just like the same thing that happened in Florida. They had its ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. So just keep all that in mind. Right now, Tulum is a victim of overdevelopment. You know what I mean? And maybe later it'll get better, but who knows? You know what I mean? Same thing as Merida, but it seems like Merida is more on the positive side of the development. Cancun is going through its growing pains, right now. Same as Merida, same as the whole region, really, because this region is only getting more and more and more desirable each and every day. So as time passes, it's just going to keep getting more and more developed. I'm talking about everything you're looking at on screen there, that whole area. So there are many areas that are still underdeveloped. There's still many areas that are nothing, just jungle and nothing, or just beach. But there are many areas that, are very, very developed already. So just, you got to come out here and do your own research and figure out what's best for you. Look, some people are, still moving to Tulum and think Tulum is a great place to live and invest in and things like that. Others, not so much. Same thing can be said about all of these regions. But one thing, one thing has remained for sure is that, this area is not stopped. The growth is not stopping. Just like it hasn't stopped in Florida in ever. Well, it's not stopping here anytime soon. So it might have its ups and downs, but it's continuously on the way up. Let me see. Now I'm gonna read some more comments. Let me see if there's any comments here. I need a little coffee, a little coffee flavored coffee. Yeah, that's another thing too, Sergio. You make a great point. I've been in Mexico also 6+ years, all over Mexico, even areas that are, I was warned by locals that are dangerous. Hey, be careful. Hey, maybe don't go there. Whatever. Dangerous areas, right? And I've never seen any violence. I've seen look, I'm not gonna lie. I have been out and about, and I get around, all right? And I've seen, a few fist fights, between, a few drunks. I saw this one time, a road rage incident which ended in an amicable handshake. Not only did I see it in person, but I've seen, many road rage incidents in areas that are dangerous, Mexico City, whatever, in dangerous areas, and they still end up like a handshake. Or just, agree to disagree, yell at each other. That's it. Nothing else. No violence, no gun violence, no nothing, nothing like that, nothing insane. And again, I say this, as an American, in America, it was fucking constant, to see it all the time. I mean, shit. Most of us as Americans have been, victims of some sort of violent crime at some point in our lives. So, but yeah, no, I've yet to see it out here. At all. Now, it's not to say it doesn't happen. Obviously, it happens. One of the main problems that Mexico has is that a lot of that violence is geared towards women, single women, women, walking the streets alone or areas. Yeah, it happens, okay? I'm not going to say it doesn't, okay? It has a very high rate, okay, in certain regions and areas of certain, things happening to women. But other than that, again, it's very it's very different in the U.S. It happens in the U.S. I feel like even more frequently than it does here. Um, all kinds of violence directed at anybody, really. So women, men, whatever. But no, yeah, no way. Very safe out here in all of Mexico, and especially being in the safest city in Mexico. But like I said, even when I've gone to other places, very safe. So, uh, what do I think of the San Juan barrio in Merida? I don't know. Never. I don't know where that San Juan is. That like in el centro? Let me see. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, San Juan is right in the centro. What do you want to do? You have a house there you want to put up for rent? Put up for rent. Why? I don't know. Why you're asking? Not quite sure why you're asking me for advice. You know. So yes. All right. Why not? If you're not living in it, why leave it there? Why leave that property unattended to? So put that property to work. Let me see. But anyways, but yeah, at the end of the day, Merida is. There's a lot of reasons as to why a lot of people want to retire out here. Because it's very retirement friendly. It's not just the weather. It's not just the medical access to medicine, access to hospitals, great doctors, great procedures, great everything you need for the most part. Access to an international airport that can get you back to the U.S. or Canada immediately if you need to, or anywhere else. The fact that it's still small enough, where it's navigable and it's not like a daunting experience like many places in the USA. It's very nice, very quaint compared to many areas. Again, even in Florida, many major cities and areas. It's really close to the beach. You can live on the beach if you want, and you're only got less than an hour drive away. From going to Costco, Walmart, and whatever it is you need to resupply. Your beach house. You can live out in the country. You can live out in the jungle. You can live in a village, in a pueblo. There's many things. But again, I think that the older folk that are, retirement, may have some problems moving around, may have, have access, you need access to have health care, doctors, whatever. You're probably going to want to stay in the city. And there are many places you can stay and live in the city. And, it's great. You know what I mean? Like I said, to me, it's like I said, it reminds me a lot of Florida. So for basically the same reasons that you would want to or looking into retiring in Florida, but you might not be able to afford it, Merida and the Yucatan as a whole. But Merida is a very great alternative to your retirement. So all right, so I'm gonna go on ahead and see if there's any more questions or any comments. So go on ahead and ask me anything if you're interested in, for me to answer or talk about anything in the chat. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna do a little shameless plug again. In a very soon, I'm gonna go live, on my other channel, Jose Unleashed. I always have all the links down below. But please, go check out my other channel, Jose Unleashed, and I'm going to be covering Hurricane Milton. We already covered Hurricane Milton when it hit this region here in the Yucatan. But, on my other channel, I talk about everything, okay? If you're interested in listening to me talk about everything or anything, like, for example, you want to hear about that time I lived in Florida. I'm sorry, but the time I lived in Seattle, also when I lived in Florida, also why I quit being a conspiracy theorist. I talk to AI. We talk about, everything and anything in between. Okay. So I highly suggest you come check out the channel if you are interested, in a more comedic perspective on all the insanity going on in the world right now. And want to hear stories about my life and so on and so forth. And in today's video, in today's live stream, we're going to be covering the hurricane because, it just literally penetrated, Florida. And so, there's a lot going on there. And I know a lot of you guys are interested in that. So we're going to go on ahead and do that. Now, it says I'm going to go live in about an hour, but I'm going live in less than that. So about 30 minutes, I'm going to go live over there. Okay, so we're going to just wrap it up over here. But please go check it out. Again, look, for anyone out there that wants to help support the show, I want to give a big shout out to Cindy and John. Yeah, okay, John. We're going to go with John. John. Again, Cindy with a $25 super chat, John with a $10 super chat. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to everyone out there as always, sending, your love and support, however you send it. So whether it's Cash App, PayPal, super chat, whatever it is, your members, all the channel members, all the Patreons, thank you very much. But if you really want to help the show for free, go over there to Jose Unleashed and subscribe to that channel. First of all, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I mean, come on. Subscribe here. I drop videos all the time. Every Thursday, I go live. Every Sunday, I drop a video on this channel. And every Tuesday, I drop a video on this channel. So Tuesday, Sunday, and Thursday, I go live here. And on my other channel, I go live every Thursday. And, we just talk about whatever, do whatever over there. It's always a fun environment over there. I'm not restricted with censorship and all these other things over there, so please go join me over there for more fun and hilarity. But yeah, go and subscribe over there, hit the like, check it out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's show and today's video. Let me see if there's any comments left. Let me see. Did I visit the Great Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico? I don't know. I visited many pyramids. I visited pyramids in Oaxaca. I visited pyramids all over the Yucatan. But I don't know. Maybe one of them was a Pyramid of the Sun. I don't know. I don't know if there's another name for that pyramid. But maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But anyways, shout out to everyone out there. Yeah, so if you guys are familiar with Florida, you guys should be familiar with the Yucatan. I think that once you come to the Yucatan, you'll quickly realize how similar it actually is, to Florida. All right, so not just Merida, but the Yucatan as a whole. And I think you guys will be thoroughly, impressed. Especially, the Yucatan is huge. Like I said, it goes all the way from Campeche. So this is the state of Campeche. Okay. So it goes all the way to Campeche. This is Quintana Roo over here. All right. You see, there's areas like Chetumal, which are beyond beautiful. All right. Bacalar, again, beyond beautiful. All right. And then you got the Yucatan. Okay. Again, also beyond beautiful, as you guys can see from the pictures there. Yes, that is real pink salt lakes here in the Yucatan, okay? You got flamingos, we got everything. Just like Florida, all right? You got pyramids. No pyramids in Florida, all right? Unless you go to the Hard Rock Casino, all right? So there you go. And that's it, guys. I think we're going to wrap this bad boy up. But anyways, guys, I really hope you guys enjoy, the show today. Thank you so much, Ivan. Ivan says he watches the ads on my videos. Thank you. That helps a lot. It helps, by bringing me in a few pennies here or there. But the real way that it helps is that, it shows YouTube that not only are you watching my video, but you're watching the ads. So then, it just promotes my videos even further. So whether you're watching the ads, watching the complete video, leaving a like, sharing the video, everything that you do, all those things that you do, they help in different ways. But if you do them all, they all help, okay? And again, thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Charlie, Shandi, Charlie, Robert, Cindy, John, who else? Virginia, Joan, everyone. And I'm sorry if I missed your name. But anyways, thank you so much. I love you guys very much. I hope you guys had a wonderful time hanging out with me today. And if you didn't, I don't know why you're still here. But anyways, regardless, shout out to you. Love you guys. And again, please, if you want more free information, okay? First of all, if you want free information, if you want to check out more videos, whatever it is, go to my website. Go to my YouTube page, okay? And right there where it says search, you can search anything. Let's say residency. All right, even if you spell it wrong, okay, whatever, that's fine. Okay, maybe you don't spell it wrong. Residency. All right, you'll get a bunch of videos on residency or whatever topic. Okay, cost of living. Okay, or whatever, anything you can imagine. All right, you get a bunch of videos. So, please, go to my YouTube page. Okay. And check out the videos I have there. I got tons of free information on my YouTube page. On top of that, I also have my website. Again, tons of free information on my website. Free information on living in Mexico, living in Merida, Yucatan. Everything from lawyers to products, to services, to videos. Everything, how to find the rentals, what you need to know, 20 of the most asked questions, banking solutions, apostles, translator app, job opportunities. Again, if you need digital nomad jobs, just click on digital nomad jobs and they're right there. So again, I give you everything you need to make it happen. All right. I don't charge you for anything. Again, if you want to, help me out or help the show out, again, you can do so by sending a donation, becoming a member, patron. You can buy a t-shirt. You go all the way to the top, right next to Digital Nomads, all right? And you see the clothing store, all right? Where's, I got to add the store here anyways, but yeah, I shouldn't. Okay, yeah, I should edit that to make the store easier accessible. But anyways, you go to support the show, and you got all the links there. But you got the link to the store, and like I said, I sell T-shirts and also sell my time. All right, for anyone out there that's interested, and you guys want a personalized consultation, again, all you gotta do is just click on personalized consultations. It'll take you to the page and explain to you everything you need to do. So that's all I sell. Why? Because I give you everything for free. Why? Because you should be able to do all this on your own. Why? Because if you don't, it's going to be, very difficult. Okay? You should be able to do most of this on your own. I understand you might need to hire a lawyer. You might need to hire a translator for certain things. You might need to hire certain people. But you should not be hiring people to constantly hold your hand, to make this transition happen. All right? Because at some point, you're not going to be able to do that. And if you haven't figured it out on your own, it's not going to end well. All right, you're probably going to end up going back to your nursing home in the USA. So try to avoid that, okay, by setting yourself up for success. Okay, set yourself up for success, but it all is all up to you. All right, and I give you everything you need to make it happen. All right, no need to pay anyone to do this. All right, so I understand. It's a lot easier to pay someone to do this. Again, a lot of you guys just pay me to do a personalized consultation. So that way you don't have to sift through all the videos. You don't have to go through all that information. You can just hire me, ask me all your questions. I answer everything, and then you're on your way. So time is money. So it's up to you whether or not you want to, what you want to do. But please don't just, move out to Mexico on a whim without ever even coming to Mexico. All right? Most of the people that have succeeded with their retirement in Mexico and their life in Mexico, not only have they come to Mexico before, but they're up for the adventure and the journey and everything that comes with that. Okay, so as long as you're open-minded and you're ready for another beautiful chapter in your life, don't do it. Just stay in wherever you're at. Okay, you're going to be happier, not having to deal with all the stresses that come from moving to another country. Okay, so regardless. All right, guys. I think that's it. And Eduardo says, can I retire? My pension is $2,500 every month. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be great. You'll be great. You want to know more about what kind of life you'll have out here for that kind of money? Very easy. Just go to my YouTube channel. Okay? Again, look. I'll even give you my last cost of living video. Okay? But anyways, you go to my YouTube channel. All right? You do a search. Okay, and you'll get a quick, response. Okay, so here you go. Again, just cost of living. You see, there's many videos here, but I'll give you this one. This is the most recent cost of living video I did, and this will give you a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more of a better synopsis, or what is it? A little bit better. Anyways, there's a whole video dedicated to that. All right, and here's another one I did. Okay, here's the second one. Okay, here's details. Okay, there, detailed cost of living. All right. Anyways, the point I'm making is that the question you need to ask yourself is this: is 2,500 enough to retire on in the USA? This is assuming you have to pay rent or you have to pay expensive property taxes. So can you still retire in the USA comfortably, okay, and afford rent or / property taxes? If you can, then it's probably better if you stay there. But yes, you can definitely afford that lifestyle, a good lifestyle, a nice lifestyle here in Mexico for that, okay? But just keep that in mind, all right? That you'll be able to afford, it all depends on you and what you're looking for and what you want, okay? But if 2,500 is not enough in the USA for you, yeah, it'll definitely be enough in Mexico. Makes sense? All right? But if it's enough in the USA, well, obviously it's going to be more than enough out here. Unless you come out here, rent a very expensive house where back in the USA you had no rent at all, okay? And small property tax. So then, yeah, now you're going to be, incurring an added expense that you might not need or can afford. So keep all that in mind. So again, I go more in detail on that in other videos, all right? So at this point, I got to wrap this bad boy up. If you guys want to hear more of my beautiful voice, please go check out my other channel, all right? And, where I'm going to be doing, what is it, like a Milton hurricane coverage, okay? So it's my other channel is called Jose Unleashed, all right? So there's the link. I'll see you guys there real soon, okay? So about 30 minutes, all right? So I'll see you guys there, all right? Thank you so much for hanging out and joining me today. And you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please the bell icon. But more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Love you guys. See you guys here on Sunday. See you guys here on Tuesday. See you guys here next Thursday. But, if you guys want to, more Jose today, I'll see you guys over there on the other channel. So I'll see you guys there soon. Love you guys. Peace out. Stay safe out there.